Alright, I've now recorded 3 of these squirrel radio things in 2 days. And I know I've talked about this before. It's because, you know, I'm going to write an article, but the articles I write are very filtered, they're very linear. I'm presenting an argument, I wish to be persuasive, I want to get a point across. And when I record squirrel radio, I just want to fucking gab at you and have a funny story. Or not a funny story. Maybe I just want to bounce ideas. I need to hear myself talk it out. It helps me. It's not a logical argument or something I want to persuade or a point I want to get across. So there's not really any point in writing it. And writing takes forever. So I had heaps of ideas for blog articles, and I kind of had to say, okay, which ones can I record and kind of multitask with? Like I can go for a long walk and record these things. And which ones do I actually want to sit down and write? So the story I'm about to tell you was one I decided that I could talk out, because it's really just a kind of a quick little funny story. I had a girls' day last Saturday with my girls, and it's odd. I'm 31 years old. I've been a female for 31 years, in case you were wondering. But because of a series of circumstances in my life beyond my control, I am not a girly person. I've never been a girly girl. In fact, growing up, when I showed girly qualities, there was very negative reactions to girly sentiments in my family. If any one of us, 3 little girls, all being raised to not be little girls. 3 little fucking terrors is more like it. We were, for the most part, raised by my single father, who is a very hardworking bricklayer and a tender-hearted man. But God bless his soul, he was a single man raising 3 little girls. You can imagine what that was like. We were not raised to be girly. On top of that, no one in my family is girly, and my mother is the only person manlier than my father. If we were going to get girly qualities, it sure as shit wasn't going to be from my mom, who actually sees girly traits as weakness and is not, has made that clear to us growing up. I have no problem with how I was raised. I have no problem with how I am. But growing up, I have not had many friends that were girls. So the fact that I'm 31 and I now have I have a close group of friends that are girls, and I still have my guy friends, because I absolutely need that, because men are simple and I understand them, and they don't talk about you behind your back because they don't even think that way at all. I found it very hard growing up being friends with girls because of those petty, finicky traits, things I just didn't understand. They'd want to paint their toenails, and I'm thinking, why the fuck would I want to do that? That sounds horrible. I hate shopping in a girly way. But for the first time in my life, I'm trying to relax that. I have a group of girls that are amazing in every way. Girls I can respect, girls I can trust. So all of this has led up to the fact that we were at the plaza last Saturday having a coffee and doing some shopping. And me and my closest girlfriend were like, oh boy, we weren't sure how it was going to go down. Shopping, oh boy. But it was a lot of fun. The reason I'm talking about this is because while we were sitting outside, it was a gorgeous day, sitting outside having a coffee, as New Zealanders do, although ironically, the group of 4 girls I'm talking about, get this, we're an international group. I am, of course, American, and fucking painfully so, as I've described many times. My other friend is French, very French. In fact, sometimes I marvel that we get along so well, because I reckon French people and Americans are two sides of the same coin. We're both very, very proud, very obstinate. But she's positively lovely, and she's gorgeous. All my friends are gorgeous, of course they are. I only hang out with gorgeous people. One of them is a Kiwi, and very Kiwi, just exquisitely Kiwi. And then the other one is Chinese, which is another very strong-willed culture. But she just has this wisdom that is out of this world. I mean, I think that every Chinese person is like born with Confucius knowledge or something. I don't know. She says shit that just blows me away. She's the girliest of them all, and she was, you know, this was her day, and it was positively lovely. Anyway, we're sitting outside the plaza having a coffee, and there was a guy playing the fiddle. And he was brilliant. I mean, he was very talented, and he sang. And I noticed him before the girls even got there. But then as we were sitting, I mean, every single one of them, these three chicks, were just losing it for this guy. Quintessential hippie-looking kid. Long dark hair. Good looking. I'm not going to say he's not good looking, because that would be a lie. He was rather good looking. Could play the fiddle like no other, which I was raised on bluegrass music. Part of me hates it, part of me loves it. And the fiddle has always been my favorite. And he could fucking play. He was good. But there was something holding me back. I'm like, why are these chicks are literally losing it? I mean, I just thought they were all just, you know, I don't want to be crass, but they were creaming themselves over this kid. And we were having a party that night, and they wanted me to invite them to my party. It was my flatmate's party, but it was a party at my house. And they just really wanted me to invite them, and they didn't have the guts, and they knew that I did. And one of the interesting things that came up was we were sitting there talking about this kid. He was singing, but you know, you can't tell an accent from singing, and the big debate was, I'm walking on the wrong side of the path. So the big debate was, where's this kid from? I didn't need to ask that question. I knew from the way he was playing the fiddle and just the way he looked that he was American. I could tell. And everyone was like, no, he's Italian, or he might be a Kiwi. I mean, he's Swedish. They were just, well, one, he had black hair. He certainly wasn't Scandinavian. But we were all because, you know, it is a very international city because of Massey University. We have a lot of students from all over the world. There's lots of travelers. Palmy is a rather big city, and it's quite nice, so we see a lot of travelers. I'm very fortunate. It's a gorgeous city, very international. And here was just what I saw was some hippie playing the fucking fiddle and knew he was American. And I really think that was the quintessential difference in why these chicks, they were just losing their shit over this kid. And I took one look at him and was like, American. And I just fucking wrote him off. I was like, fuck that. The last thing in the world I want is an American. Are you kidding me? If I wanted an American, I'd fucking be in America. I don't want it. Don't want it. Don't want it here. Don't want it there. Don't want it anywhere. So we finish our coffees. We go over there. We wait for him to finish a song. One of the girls gives him some money, so he keeps playing. I'm like, shouldn't have fucking given him money. Now he's going to keep playing. You guys want me to ask him this party? And he stopped playing. And I said, hey, you know, you're a great fiddle player. Yeah, none of the other girls would even talk to him. I have no problem. I don't give a shit. You know, what's the worst? He's going to tell me to why would he do that? Like, even if he is American, he's obviously in New Zealand. The Americans that come to New Zealand, especially to travel, aren't exactly the kind of Americans I was running away from. So I had no problem. You know, I had no problems with this kid. And I didn't ask him if he was American. I basically accused him of it. I was like, you're American? He's like, yeah. I was like, where are you from? St. Louis. Of course. Of course. So I said, hey, I'm having this party if you want to stop by. And he said, oh, yeah, if I have time. I've already committed to another party. And that was a kind no. But whatever. I didn't give a shit if he wanted to come to my party or not. I was asking because the lady folk wanted him there for eye candy, even though every single one of us is seeing someone. So, I mean, and for some reason I just kept, the Fiddler on the Roof thing was just going through my head and it was making me laugh. But anyway, that's just my warped sense of humor. I've never even seen that movie, to be honest. I know it's about Nazis, but that's it. That's all I know. I've never seen it. Anyway, I kept thinking Fiddler and Palmy. And get this, just when I didn't think it could get more American, his name was Jackson. Jesus Christ. So I'd asked him if he'd ever been to Branson, because my mom is super, super, super into bluegrass music. And I know that she took her mother, my grandmother, to a trip to Branson, Missouri, because I guess that's where a lot of, it's a big bluegrass country music scene in Branson. He said he'd actually never been to Branson, but this kid, he was young. Yeah. God, I can't imagine he was over 20, really. He looked kind of older while he was playing the fiddle, but when you get right up close to him, he's got the baby face that only an early 20-something can have. But yeah, that whole experience just left me thinking, like, I wonder if I just didn't feel attracted to him at all because I knew he was American. Or if, I don't know, there was just something keeping me back. And the fact that all these girls were like, no, he's from here, no, he's from there. Well, he sounds this way, but you can't really tell because he's singing, and when you sing, your accent is hidden. I just took one look and was like, he's fucking American, you guys. It's over. Just stop arguing. He's American. And in fact, I think that's why I didn't give a shit if he came to my party. I just wanted to go over there and confirm what I knew to be correct. I wanted to be right, damn it. And I wasn't disappointed. But it did kind of crack me up in retrospect. I was like, I didn't ask him. I wasn't like, oh, hey, where are you from? I just went straight up to him in true summer fashion and just said, you're American. Like it was a fucking crime against humanity. Hell of a fiddle player, though. Really talented. I imagine he made quite a bit of money. He knew how to draw a crowd, and he could sing quite well. Just really talented on the fiddle. But that's my Fiddler of Palmy story, with a prelude into why. Hi, Tom. There's my flatmate. Running by. Looking great, buddy. Oh, shit. I shouldn't have said his name. He's going to listen to this. I'm sorry, friend. Forget I said your name. Oh, I'll have to run this by him and make sure he's okay with that. I don't know how to fucking edit, so I don't know. Anyway. Flatmate Tom. My best friend. I love my girls, but, yeah, I could take a second. To do this. Great guy. Absolutely fantastic. My best friend in the whole wide world. Love that kid. Yeah, I guess I'm done. I'm not gonna talk about him. He wouldn't like that. Just want you to know I appreciate you, buddy. 'Cause I do. Hello, puppy. Anyway, that kind of turned weird at the end, but hey, it wouldn't be Squirrel Radio if it wasn't cocked up a little, so over and out.